Is having an e-commerce store in 2020 a good idea, or should you do something else to make money online? Let's talk about that because 2020 is a year of intricacies. So don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video of Stay Home Celebrity right here on YouTube. The reason why I'm talking like this is because I wanted to first make a formal announcement that I am going to be launching a podcast. That's right. I'm not new in the world of podcasts. I have been running a podcast for my music. For those who don't know, I am actually a rapper in real life. And I've been hosting a podcast on my music stuff for several years. So with that in mind, I'm going to be launching a podcast for Stay Home Celebrity. So if you want to know more and keep up to date and follow on some amazing ways to build your income, start a business, get out of your way from this mentality of, I can only make money with a 9-to-5 job, then you need to subscribe to this podcast. It is not up yet, but I will let you know once it is. So make sure to subscribe to this channel, click that bell notification, and you'll get the update for when it goes up in a future video. All right, so in this video today, we are talking about e-commerce sites and is it a good idea to run one in 2020? There's two ways to go about that. First way is, let's just get to the short end of the stick here. Yes, 1,000 times. Yes, it is great, amazing if you start an e-commerce website, especially in 2020, because, well, where else are you going to be selling stuff? You can't sell stuff in person. I mean, you can, but it's highly discouraged due to COVID, this whole pandemic thing. It's not something that people don't want you to, we're not really going out. And at the time of this video, there's several states are going through another lockdown. I just went to Costco yesterday for my wife and kids and found out that we're out of toilet paper in most stores again. Golly, what is it about toilet paper that people are hoarding them? What are they expecting to happen? That's the bigger question. I mean, do they have bunkers and they just fill these bunkers up with toilet paper rolls? I don't get it. Why toilet paper? Why is the food for the most part in good supply, but when you dispense of your internal waste, you're gonna have to use the old-fashioned leaves or just the white method? And anyway, getting back on topic here. So e-commerce sites are a great way to raise money because obviously people are shopping online. So you may not be shopping in person, but you could still be shopping online. Now on this page here, this is a list of the top 10 e-commerce sites in the US in 2020. Just going to go through this top 10 list briefly. But before I do that, let me get to the other side of the coin here that I was going to bring up. It's a great thing to do in 2020 to start up an e-commerce site, but it's also kind of because for one, most people who run e-commerce stores, they use what's called the arbitration method or arbitrage. The arbitrage method, which in a nutshell, the arbitrage method is kind of like a form of drop shipping in the sense that you list products that are not your own, but you can legally sell under your store, and you set up a profit margin above it. And when someone makes the purchase from you, you then take that money that they gave you to buy this product. You go to where the product really is. You buy the product on behalf of your customer, and the person that you bought the product from then sends the product to that customer. So hopefully that makes sense. The product never has to be in your house. That's not how arbitration works. You don't have to store it in your house like a warehouse kind of thing. You don't have to do that. It's basically if somebody walked up to you, gave you $5 and say, hey, can you get me this? And it actually costs $3. You go to that place, you buy that product for $3, you keep the difference of $2, and that person that you bought it from sends your customer the product that they paid you to pay them. So yeah, that's essentially it. And a lot of e-commerce websites are doing this. Now, in order to run an arbitrage related e-commerce website successfully, you should first of all understand the market value of these products. So whatever your products are, obviously there's going to be a set MSRP, there's going to be a set value for them. And people are going to be willing to pay what that MSRP value is. If you buy let's say a laptop at full value from Walmart or something like that, and then you try to sell it with like maybe a $30 upsell, like a $30 profit margin, people aren't really going to do that because they're not really going to buy that from you, because they say to themselves, oh, wait a minute, isn't this $30 cheaper if I just go straight to Walmart? Yeah, so I'll just go to Walmart. So what people do is that they try to go to wholesale places where, wholesale resource centers and websites and vendors where people, these companies are selling their products at a wholesale value, meaning that there's no tacked on, profit for them. So it's below the MSRP retail value. So e-commerce store owners like myself would go find those people and then make deals with them and fill our online stores with those products. Now, one very popular method, and this is where we're getting into the dicey territory here, and I don't mean this, by the way, let me just forewarn you by saying I don't mean this as an insult. I don't mean this as any sort of derogatory thing against any race, any whatever. That's not who I am. So get that junk out of your head. But what a lot of people doing, and what I've learned early on was, if you couldn't really find a wholesale vendor, one easy place to go is AliExpress. Now, let me just go ahead and pull this up and I can show you. AliExpress.com is where I get a lot of my products to fill my store, and I'm not alone. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people do this, especially starting off. This is kind of like the first place that people go because they can find products for almost anything, any category, and get them real cheap, and they'll be able to stack on a nice profit margin on top of it. So if on AliExpress I were to look up, like, let's just go shoot for the stars here, cell phones, right? I don't know. Or maybe even let's go with cell phone cases. That might be a little bit better. All right, so yeah, here we go. It's just a random example. So this cell phone case, I can list it on my store, and if I list it on my store, maybe I'll set the value at, I don't know, $10 to $15, right? Because a typical phone case, let's go to Amazon.com. Let's go to cell phone cases. I'm just going to pull up any one, really. But yeah, something like this. And I know that, these are for iPhones here. But this one here goes for $13.85. So roughly, you could sell it for $10 to $15, right? So I could buy this for $3.75 or $3.74. I don't know why I said 5. I can list this on my site and sell it for $10 to $15. So this holds true for pretty much every category that exists on AliExpress. You can have it shipped to the US, and the only thing is that it takes a bit longer than what you're used to on Amazon. So it takes like estimated delivery 30 to 50 days. In some cases, you can use one of the other shipping methods. Yeah, one of the other shipping methods to get it sooner, but typically, you're still gonna have to wait longer than 7 days for sure. You're looking anywhere from like 14 days and so on. But anyway, point is that, and that's not true in all cases, but for many, So anyway, a lot of people go to this for filling up their stores. And is it a good method? Yeah, it's always been taught to be a good method. I've done this and I have plenty of experience with it. And it's worked out. It's worked out great. Now, the only issue here is that AliExpress is based out of China. And again, this is where I come out and I set the preface by saying, don't even bother with that, nonsense about how I feel about China and all that. I got nothing against China, all right? But the fact remains is that, the coronavirus and all that, and the reputation that China has now for whatever part that they have or had in, this initial spread or whatever. A lot of people, a lot of Americans, a lot of people from other countries have a distrust right now, have a distrust for China because of this whole COVID thing. Is it right? Is it wrong? I'm not here to say that. I'm not here to get political. I'm just pointing you to the obvious. So with that in mind, the question becomes, well, okay, this was a really good way to list your products. I know so many people who do this, and now they're not really sure they want to proceed with this because, let's just say that you have zero problems listing your products from AliExpress onto your own e-commerce site. Let's say you don't give a crap. You don't care whatsoever. So you continue to do it. Cool, fair. What's going to happen if you start getting customers who buy from you and these packages arrive to your customers, and they start to realize that these products were all made in China and came from China? There could be concerns about, well, what happened if, if this is where the virus came from? Well, you're encouraging it to spread and this and that, and there's all these things. So that gets into the whole thing of like, what are you truly liable for? So you have to think responsibly. You can't just think about it as, well, I want the money, so I'm just going to do it anyway. I've had those thoughts too, and I've considered it, but the risk kind of overweighs the reward in this sense. And so if the risk is higher than the reward, then that's something that I won't do. If the reward is higher than the risk, then I will. I have no problem with risk. I take risks all the time. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. More so, it does work out because I know how to be smart about it. But when you have a situation where if you just write it down on paper and realize that the risk is higher than the reward, then you really should reconsider your approach. So again, nothing against China or anything like that. As soon as this all blows over, and I'm sure it's probably going to take a while, but as soon as this all blows over, I got no problem listing my products from here to my site again. But, in the meantime, and you may do it and you may realize that you're not really, there's no real repercussions on your end, and that's great. I hope so. I hope that's the case. But you never know when it comes to that one moment when all of a sudden people start complaining and they start returning their products, and you got a lot of refunds that are being asked of you and stuff like that because of the pandemic. And again, like I said, many states now are going to another what's the word? Many states are being closed up again. They're being, whatever. So, there's obviously a growing sense of panic in America and other countries. So, just tread carefully. That's all I gotta say. If you're committed to using AliExpress, tread carefully. But remember, risk over reward. Gotta be careful. So going back to this here, I'm just gonna quickly read off the top 10 e-commerce sites, and this is really just to give you an idea of like how powerful e-commerce is even now in 2020, and more so because many brick and mortar sites, many brick and mortar stores are closing shop because this whole pandemic thing. But all right, here we go. Number 10, Lowe's, and that doesn't seem too far-fetched because you got to keep your house maintained. Although we were just at Lowe's earlier today, and it seems to be one of those stores that you just have to visit because you're getting hardware and stuff. Number 9 is Macy's. Okay. Number 8 is Wayfair. Number 7 is Best Buy, which I'm glad they got a strong e-commerce presence because I personally love Best Buy. For me, Best Buy is like Toys R Us, and I was a big Toys R Us fan growing up. And now you see the state of Toys R Us right now, going out of business and all that. It's sad. But number 6 is Target. Thank you to whoever said bless you. Number 5 is Home Depot. So Lowe's biggest competitor is actually higher up on this list here. Number 4, Etsy. Now I got something to say about Etsy. This is not surprising to me, but it should shock and tremble, all these big wig stores that's also on this list here. That the fact that Etsy is number 4. Do you have any idea what Etsy is? Do you have any idea how powerful Etsy is? Because honestly, if you want to start an e-commerce site, Etsy is probably a really, really good way to go. And you don't even need to use AliExpress products or things like that. There's cool things you can do with Etsy. More on that later. Number 3, Walmart. Kind of duh. Number 2, eBay. And I was going to wait to show you number 1, but obviously number 1 is Amazon. So eBay and Amazon, number 1 and 2. Reverse that. But Amazon, number 1. eBay, number 2. Obviously, they're high up on the list here because, they've essentially taken over the sales industry, right? By not having an actual physical location, even from the start, they've only grown stronger in 2020. While so many so many stores, so many brick and mortar physical locations have been struggling, not only the local shops, but these big major stores that are out there, so many of them are closing shop because of what's going on in 2020. eBay and Amazon actually have grown stronger. So keep that in mind. But then going back to Etsy, Etsy is a great place because first of all, it's a community. So you could find so many cool ideas. And I know people, there's a friend of my wife's that told me that she made, how much was it? She makes like crazy buku money per month selling bumper stickers. She makes a lot of money just doing that. Bumper stickers, they're just little thin pieces of vinyl and you stick them on your car and all that stuff. She makes a lot of money per month. I can't remember the exact number, but just think about it. From one product, and that's the only thing she focuses on. And then there's so many people that they make their own stuff, crafts and stuff like that they make a lot of money. Now, like I said, this is a community too. So that means that, if you don't really have an idea, well, what do I even sell? How do I even get started? Well, you can connect with the people that are on Etsy and you can figure it out. And it's actually not that difficult once you take the time to invest into getting to know this platform. So many people have gone way up in value. They have made lots of money. They have created thriving businesses just from starting on Etsy. Now, like anything else, you may not have, you may not start off rich overnight. No one really does. But, little by little, if you are consistent, and that's the thing, is you have to be consistent. If you are consistent at it, then you can absolutely, positively see some growth here. So make sure that if you consider Etsy, again, you don't have to use other things. You could just, whatever you got on Etsy, you got on Etsy. If you decide to go this route, make sure, like anything else, you are consistent. Now, I will share one more thing, and then we'll just end it off here. Shopify. So, the method that I was using previously was taking products from AliExpress and posting them onto my Shopify store. Now, Shopify is a fantastic platform. It's very easy. You don't need a lot. You don't need to know coding really. It's real plug and play type stuff. And there's even some extensions to help you to further configure your store. Obviously, it's set to work on mobile devices like anything else nowadays. easy dashboard system so you can see how much you've earned. Notifications, I would get notifications sent straight to my phone as soon as the sale is made. It would make this cool cha-ching sound, and man, I love getting that cha-ching sound. And yeah, there's so many cool things you can do with Shopify. Some people say, you can't really do it. Never listen to the detractors, guys. That's one thing I learned, is never listen to the detractors, because when I try things out for myself, I wind up making money every single time. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit. That's why I diversify my income. But yeah, you don't listen to the detractors. You can absolutely make money with Shopify. Thousands and thousands of people do it. So why is it all of a sudden, hey, you can't really do it? Bull. Cool thing about Shopify is you can make it like it's your own website. You can buy a domain, attach it to your Shopify store, and people don't even have to know that you use Shopify to create your store. To them, it's just your store, your e-commerce store. So, take that for what you want. But anyway, yeah, my site, I got 2 e-commerce. One is actually done on WordPress, which is another thing. But I have one on Shopify here. I think it's just one. Yeah, I was setting up another one. But anyway, getting off topic here. But yeah, I do pretty well on that one. It's it's a really good platform. And why was I bringing this up? Oh yeah, because I was using the AliExpress method. And so now that's changing. And so if you have if you are trying to go the Shopify method, then instead of using AliExpress, what I would recommend you do is you find, first of all, the best thing to do is to find a wholesale vendor. You could go on Google and search for wholesale for particular niche products. Remember, again, I'll say this again, make sure you sell stuff that you actually like to sell, stuff that, it would give you joy to put time into, creating, setting up the store and all that. But yeah, find a wholesale vendor. Or another thing you could do is, maybe not a wholesale vendor, but you can list products from sites that are, selling products at retail value. So, for example, I could go to Walmart.com and look for a product. Let's say, let's say this. Let's look for a razor. How about Norelco? Is that Norelco? Yeah. All right, so let's look at this here. This one is $29.95. Now, I may embarrass myself in a second here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it anyway. So here's this, and let me go to Amazon. Let me compare it to there. All right, so this one is $3,800. This one is $2,300. I'm looking for a $2,300. Where's the $2,300? $2,300. Looks like I'm not gonna find it here. All right, well, let's just pretend then. See, I told you I was gonna embarrass myself. Let's just pretend for a moment. All right, so let's say this is the $2,300. The point I'm trying to make is that sometimes you can find products where on Walmart it'll be $29.95, but then on Amazon it'll be $32.50. That's not a big difference. It's a few bucks. Nothing fancy. But when you see that, what you could do is you could list the lowest product that you find and put it on Shopify. Maybe put like a $0.50 or $1 buffer above that to give yourself a little bit of profit margin, in addition to what the profit margin you get from here, because because you don't, the reason why you would put a buffer is that sometimes the prices fluctuate. So it may be $29.95 now, but it could go up, just out of whim. And you don't want it to eat all your profits, so you just put in like 50 cents to $1 above that to kind of give you more of a buffer of a profit margin. So I would list it from Walmart, put it on Shopify. People would see it, the real value is here. So when someone buys it from your store, oh, that's what I'm gonna say. So sorry guys. All right, backtrack just a little bit. Okay, so I would set the price at the value that Amazon has set it, because Amazon would sell the product a little bit higher than Walmart. Okay, so if Walmart has it for $29.95 and Amazon has it for $32, so 32 minus $29.95, right? So that's a $2.05 profit margin. So on my store, I would sell it for the price that's on Amazon, $32, and I would add 50 cents to $1 on top of that as a buffer, like I said, and then my profit would be $3.05, right? So I would list it for the higher price that Amazon's selling it, because I know that that's still the perceived value and people will buy it for that price. But when somebody pays me for it, I'll go to Walmart, which I know has the lower price, purchase it here, and then I assure myself that I've gotten the $3.05 profit margin. Does that make sense? So, and obviously you want to make sure that you consider shipping. So like if there's, like this here is, $49.99 plus free delivery sold and shipped by, okay, so these are other sellers, but where would it show here? Free 2-day delivery on products 35. Okay, so yeah, obviously, what I'm telling you now, you also want to consider shipping, tax, and all that stuff. So do your research. I'm just showing you a basic concept here where, you realize that my dog is bothering me. You realize that, you could take two well-known websites that sell their products for retail value. If one has it listed for a little bit lower, you can then realize, okay, I could put this on my site and, give myself a little bit of buffer where people would buy it for the higher price on something like Amazon. And then I know I've guaranteed myself a little bit of a profit margin. So that's something that you can also do. It's not something I would, recommend that you do. It's not something that I think is really profitable and long lasting. You have to watch the prices continuously because, like I said, prices do fluctuate. So you could set this up once, be like, oh, okay, well, if someone buys it, I know I'm getting $3 profit. And then, you leave it alone for 2 weeks. All of a sudden, you get a sale for that product after 2 weeks. Woo! And then you go to Walmart and all of a sudden they raised it up to $35. And it's like, what the heck? You've lost all your profit margin and you actually owe. And that's happened to me too. So I'm saying this because this is from experience. Be careful about that. If you do this method, you have to be mindful of it and watch out for it. So, just be careful, guys, because like I said, this could be this is good to get you some money if you're trying to get some money right away. You gotta get some money. You don't care how much it is. You just need some money now. It's a good method, but you have to watch the prices. And it is not a long-lasting method. This is something just to get you started, but it's not a long-lasting method. So if you could find a wholesale vendor, that's obviously the most preferred way. But other than that, guys, that's really all I wanted to share with you. But seriously, having an e-commerce site in 2020 and obviously 2021 and the years after that is for sure only going to get better, only going to increase in value. And now with the way things are, I'd actually recommend jumping on this sooner than later. There's obviously more work involved here than something like what I do with affiliate marketing where, they got all the sites set up, they got all the email swipes, all the, everything else. Pretty much everything is set up already when you do affiliate marketing. All you got to do is just run traffic to it and boom, you're making money. That is way more simple and takes a lot less time. And with e-commerce, you have to build everything yourself or pay someone to do it. But, again, multiple streams of income, and you've pretty much secured yourself. So that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, please give this video a thumbs up. Tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy the content here. Also, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell notification so you can actually be told when videos are up. And last but not least, click the link in the description box below if you want to know how I'm able to make money using affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is not going to be a dying art, ladies and gentlemen. It is forever. It's evergreen. So be sure to check that out, and I'll be happy to coach you through the whole process and get you up and going. That being said, hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and see you guys in the next video. It's Jason. Much love. God bless. And as always, peace.
I should make money for free. Yeah, that's how money works. Money for free. If I ain't got a boss, then it's not a legal way to make money. You gotta know that's true, right? You gotta have a boss for you. Okay. The only way to make money is by spending a crazy amount of time. If I'm not like slave or nothing like that, okay. But okay, here we go. Nobody makes money from home. This COVID thing is just a fluke. We're gonna be in office again, and if you seriously want to help me, you should just give me money. That's how you show me